The word of the Lord is, listen to me, be silent, and I will speak. This is coming from Job 33, verse 31. A lot of people look to the Lord for direction, but in seeking the Lord for direction, most people bombard heaven and the Lord with, cries of prayer to seek help. And God is saying, okay, I hear you praying to me. I hear you. But we need to work on our listening skills. We need to work on our listening skills. God is saying, work on your listening skills. A lot of us are okay with having one-ended conversations where you're doing all the talking and you're not getting a chance to receive anything back. God is saying, be silent. I deal with this a lot with people in my regular everyday life, so I know that this is really an issue for people in real life, especially when it comes to a spiritual walk and walking with God, because you can't even see God. So I can only imagine even dealing with people I deal with and they just talk. They don't even give the conversation room, air to breathe life. They just keep going. And so God is saying that's what's been happening in y'all's conversations. You're just talking and God is patient, so get it out. Get it out. He doesn't want to stop you. He's not going to stop you. He's listening. He's not going to cut you off. But if you are waiting to hear a response, it's like you're praying, and then you're expecting to see something, but God is speaking back to you. You just can't hear. You can't hear because you're too busy talking. God says, be silent. A lot of people, especially, you sitting here and watching prophetic words, and there's nothing wrong with that because God uses who he uses to speak to you, but he doesn't need a prophet to speak to you. He could speak to you directly. But if your ears aren't tuned to hear the response that you're seeking, then you won't get the answer directly from God like you're looking for, because you're too busy talking. So this is a challenge for you all to pray, and after you're done praying, give God the room to speak back to you. Give God the room to speak back to you. If you hurrying up and praying and then getting out of there, you don't have any time. You're not giving God any time to respond. And the voice of God is usually very quiet, but it's clear, and he usually repeats himself. So to hear God's instructions, pray. And when you're done praying, give God the floor. When you're giving God the floor, this is how you do that. You, like I said, finish your prayer. You can say amen and then begin your prayer and say, God, speak to me. When you say, God, speak to me, allow your mind to go blank. Allow your mind to go as clear as you can get it. What I do is I focus on light. I focus on, my ideal concept of what God is. God is everything. God is spirit. So when I think of a pure spirit, I envision the purest form of light. And as I'm envisioning this purest form of light, and I'm thinking about all that God is, that is the moment where then my mind jumps to various things and situations, and that's when God begins to reveal things to me. But you have to give God the space in the room and the floor. If while you're in prayer, all you're focusing on is what you need or what's going on in life, you're not giving God the floor or stage or room to say what he expects or what's happening. You're just telling him all your problems. You're just giving it all to him. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you're looking to be led by God, when you're looking for God to then lead you next, you can't just assume that it's going to happen naturally as you go about your day. You still have to leave room in there for God to speak to you. And sometimes it may not happen directly in that moment, but make a conscious decision that you are setting the stage for God to speak. Set the stage for God to speak. Say verbally, speak to me, Lord. Because God doesn't need anybody to come speak to you. That God doesn't need anybody to come guide you. God doesn't need anyone to bless you. So your blessing can be in alignment with what he said, that he spoke directly to you. He didn't need a third party. God is saying, listen to me because I will speak directly to you. This is what the Lord is saying. Listen to me. Put your hope in me, which many of you have. But at the same time, you have to give God the room to speak to you. Don't rush out of there. This is what the Lord has been saying. And the Bible verse he took me to is Job 33, verse 31. Pay attention, Job, and listen to me. Be silent and I will speak. God will not speak if you're speaking. He's not the type to talk over you. Real respectful, okay? So set the stage. Give God the room. And let him take care of the rest. You have to trust and believe that the Spirit, and again, it's still a faith process. If you sit up there and believe, oh, I'm not like that, I can't hear the voice of God, you will not hear it. God is God, the whole essence of God, literally, when it comes to his relationships with us as humans, it is about faith. So if you believe in your mind that you will not have the capacity to hear God, then you won't. But if you set the stage to hear God and set the stage for the Spirit to move the way it needs to move for you to feel that you hear and feel the Spirit of God, then it will move accordingly. But if you don't set the stage and you just close it up, God, I need you, I praise you, and I want you to come and bless me, and amen, and then you just keep going on with your life, you didn't settle, you didn't rest with God. God is saying, rest with me. Talk to me and then be silent so that you can listen to me. God says, listen attentively. Actually listen. Focus on listening. That's the skill we're working on right now. And this is the word of the Lord. It sounds simple, but it's really not, because it does require a level of focus, but openness. You have to be focused in, putting all your attention and focus on God, and then yet stay open to what he will reveal to you. That is what the Lord is saying. So I hope this helps, and you all have a blessed day or night.